Hi friends, welcome back to Andrea Fontana Beauty. I have a wonderful summer cold. So, gotten off the couch, which I've been on for 3 days, and I'm gonna make a video because I think it's gonna help me just like feel a little bit better. You know, makeup does that for me sometimes. So, we're just gonna do an easy video today. Nothing too crazy. My friend Carolyn, who's also a lover of makeup, she sent me this makeup trend, which I had never seen before. So I'm gonna do my take on it and I'm gonna show you how I would create it. It's called the reverse cat eye. It says it's blowing up on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, so maybe that's why I've never seen it, but that is the look. So it's a cat eye, but instead of the main dramatic eyeliner going on top, it goes on the bottom. So I think this is pretty cool. I'm gonna put my own spin on it by doing it with brown liner, because I think this brown liner and brown shadow is gonna give like, because I know this is gonna be a dramatic eye look. I don't think it's gonna be hard to do, but I do think it's gonna be a little dramatic. So I decided to do brown instead, because why not? Tone it down just a little bit and have a little fun. I'm drinking tea because, as you can hear, my voice is a little shot. I haven't even been talking to anybody. Let's get started. Now, to begin, we're gonna start with eyebrows. As always, my brows could probably be done, but we know how I deal with that. I don't do them as often as I should. I'm just gonna run a little bit of this pencil through my brows, just to kind of balance them out and make them look a little more even. Next, what I'm going to do is prime my lids. I'm going to use my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I'm not going to do a lot on the lids here because obviously that liner is the focal point of the look. So I'm going to keep the rest of the makeup very simple. Just blended that into the lid. I'm going to go in with my Juvia's Place, the Chocolates palette. That's what I'm going to be using. And I'm going to be using this shade all over my lid. And then this is going to be a shade we use for our liner in a minute. But starting, I'm going to take that brown shade with a flat shader brush. And I'm just going to put that all over the lid. Now this is like a medium worn brown. You could obviously do a shade that's a little closer to your lid shade if you really don't want there to be a lot on the lid, but I just thought this would be a good way to kind of soften the look. Put that on there, and then I'm going to go in with an angled, this is my Angle Eye Blender BMD 460 from Moda, just like that. Okay, so you just have like a nice little wash of color all over the lid. Okay, that's all we're going to do for now, for the eyes, okay? We're going to do the rest of the face, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do the liner. And I'm actually really excited because I'm going to be testing out some, one of the shades from that ColourPop gel cream liner pencils, but I think they're called the gel cream liners. Let's see. Cream gel liners. Yeah. So I'm going to be trying out for the first time from the vault that came with all, I think it was 20 different shades came in the vault. Very excited for that. Okay. Since this makeup is just for this video, as soon as this video is over, I will take the makeup off and I will resume watching YouTube videos on the couch. Probably warm up some chicken noodle soup that I made myself. Also, shout out to my mug. Mikey and I are Hamilton nerds, so I got him this mug and I use it all the time because I love it. King George is Mikey's favorite character from Hamilton, I think, or Washington. They're probably tied, but he loves King George, so like this video if you love Hamilton. I'm gonna use my Ordinary foundation. It says it's the coverage foundation. I'm actually gonna do more of my Glotion than the foundation because, again, I'm not trying to get some super high coverage look here because this makeup is coming off as soon as I'm done with it. I'm gonna use a sponge today. You guys never see me use a sponge. I just like the application with a brush, but you know what? Let's switch things up. We're just gonna blend this sucker in. I am not as tan as I was, so I'm back down to my winter shade already, which is kind of funny. Pressing that mixture into the skin. I am adding a little extra coverage right here through my cheeks, which is my area of redness. It's gonna be good for now. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Nars Creamy Concealer. Blending that in. Again, just pressing it in. There we go. So we just have a nice dewy light coverage base. Before I set under the eyes, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Honey Drip. I'm going to take the Moda BMX 120 angled brush, which honestly fits kind of perfectly into that. This is a nice angled, technically it's an angled blush brush, but I like it for cream contour. And I'm just gonna buff that in to anywhere that I want to bronze up the face or contour it. So we put our cream bronzer on, and now we're gonna set everything. So taking my Pixie Promise palette, go in with that lighter shade under the eyes. Gently press that in. And the areas where I concealed. And then I'm going to go in with that same contour brush, and I'm going to go in with this grayer tone, and I'm just going to gently buff that in over the cream bronzer just to give me a little bit more color right there. There's what we're looking like so far. We're just bronzed. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Pixie On The Glow blush in Juicy, which is a corally shade. And we're just gonna press that in like that. Perfect. Then I don't think we're gonna do a highlighter because I want to keep this really nice and light and dewy. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So let's just skip right into the liner. So I'm gonna be using this ColourPop BFF cream liner, cream gel liner in the shade Call Me, which is a beautiful, just dark brown. And the reason that I'm using this is because it looked in the photo like she used a pencil and then kind of blended it out. So that's kind of the route I'm going for. I'm going to be using this deep brown matte shade from the Chocolates palette by Juvia's Place, and then this liner. But to start, one of the best recommendations I have when you're trying to be precise with liner is to make sure that you're setting your elbow on either a table. In this case, I'm setting it on my knee, because if your elbow is stable, it's a lot easier to make those fine movements. Now, we're gonna see how this goes. It's kind of ballsy to be filming a precise liner video when you don't feel good, but we're gonna see how it goes, okay? So, the key to this is that we're gonna blend it out. Okay, I've got two liner brushes. First, we have the line brush from Moda, which is the BMX 498. As you can see, it's just an angled, thin, skinny liner brush. And then we also have the Angle eyeliner, which is basically like, does it have numbers? No. The Angle eyeliner brush, also by Moda, is basically just like a smaller version of the two. So we're gonna start with the bigger one. And these are for blending purposes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the outside of one of my eyes, and like where my lashes are attached, I'm going to gently add that. I'm just slowly wiggling the liner, kind of like just connecting the dots almost. From the outside to the inside. Okay, so you can see that I have that line right there. Now, what I'm going to do before it sets is I'm going to go in with my fine liner brush and dip it in, just the tip of it, into the eyeshadow brush so you can see there's product on there. And I'm just going to gently like press it in as close to the lash line as I can. Okay. I'm kind of blending it, but I'm more so doing just like a pressing motion. And I'm just focusing, I'm not worrying about any wings right now. I am just focusing on doing this bottom liner here, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, okay? So we've got the beginning stages of that brown liner. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on the outer wing first, okay? I find that when you're new to liner, it's easiest to break it up into segments. So our segments are gonna be the actual bottom lash line, the outer liner, and then the inner liner, okay? So we have 3 segments that we're gonna work on. Only focus on that, each one segment at a time. Okay, so next we're gonna take our same gel liner and we're going to create a wing as if we were just continuing this line that we've created on the bottom, okay? So I'm gently taking this liner. If you need to warm it up, like you feel like it's not or drawing correctly, okay, so I'm just gently creating the wing that I want, just like that. See? It's not a very big one. It's definitely like a more long, skinny line, but there she is, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is take the bigger brush first, just to like press some shadow in to connect it. And then I'm gonna take my smaller brush. I find that it's easier to work with the shorter. So if we're like looking at the angle and we're holding it straight and it angles downwards, the shorter end, so the most downwards tip, I think it's easier to have the long part on the inside, like closest to your eye, and the short part out, because the short side makes it more precise. So I'm gonna go and dip that little guy, and I'm just gonna create that wing. Okay, see how we've just, it's really cool. Okay, next we're gonna go do the same thing on the other side. Again, we're just extending that angle from where the line, same angle as the lower lash line, and just gently drag it out like that. Obviously use whatever eyeliner brush you are most comfortable with, but I personally like these really short tipped angled brushes because I feel like they help me feel like I have the most control. So we've got similar angles on both sides. This is looking so cool. Next, we're gonna work on the inner. So the inner angle is a continuation of your upper lid. So for this, I'm actually going to skip the eyeliner because I think it's, well, actually, no, I'm not. What I'm gonna do is I want the precision and the control of my brush. So I'm actually gonna twist this up a little bit, and I'm just going to run my brush through the liner so that I'm getting some of that product on my tiny, tiny, tiny brush. And we're going to imagine that we're just gonna draw a line downwards at the same as if we're continuing our eyelid down, okay? But we're not actually putting any product on that upper eyelid. Okay, just like that. See how that, just taking a little bit, and then I'm also going to connect it to, I'm connecting it to the bottom lash line. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing but with our eyeshadow. Into our same dark brown eyeshadow, and then with the shorter end pointing away from the eye. Just like that. Wow. How fun is that? Okay. I feel very Cleopatra-esque. It's very cool. Okay, so that's gonna be the look for now. If you wanted to, just to kind of balance it, but like obviously we want the attention to be on the bottom liner, right? If you take your ring finger and you gently lift your lashes, you get exposure to this. Can you see, am I blocking that? Yes, I am. You get exposure to your inner waterline, and you can add a little extra dimension there, which would be fun. That just kind of helps balance things out. So there's that. And we're gonna curl our lashes, put on our mascara, and that's gonna be the look. All right, what do we think? This is the finished look. I think this is super fun. I would say though, if I was gonna recreate this, do this again, I would probably remove the inner portion. I think it's really fun that like there's drama on the bottom. I think without this, I don't know. What do you think? Would you try it? Do you like it? I don't usually do this inner portion of a cat eye, so I think that's just what's throwing me off. It feels like more dramatic than a simple wing. It's funny how like when we do a cat eye, we'll put liner on the bottom, you know? But something about removing that and the top being so bare makes this feel so dramatic. But I think it's super fun. I mean, even if you would never try this look, you could definitely try the technique of using the shadow and the pencil just to create a winged eyeliner in whatever color you want. So you don't have to use, like, if you're afraid of liquid liner, like you can achieve a cat eye without liquid eyeliner. So that's the look. I'm gonna go take it off and get back on my couch and watch other people's YouTube videos and then edit this YouTube video. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe to Andrea Fontana Beauty so that you don't miss the next time I bring you a new video. Bye.